got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love.
Good afternoon and welcome to DevTech Diaries podcast. I'm your host Andre, and today I'm going to be trying something a little bit different. I was thinking about doing some reaction to certain points of view that I see on social media. Points, of course, which are important to software developers and employers as well. Because I'm not here to bash anyone, but I'm here to find a common ground and explain how things are seen from both sides of the fence. So without any further ado, let's see what we are reacting to today. This post caught my eye last week. It was mainly about the recruitment process, and I'm going to do a little bit of reading. Let's see. So I was speaking to a candidate. He'd been through a 4-stage interview process, waiting for stage 5. He applied for the role as he really wanted to work for the company, but the process put him off. So there you go. That's basically the gist. And I thought this is important because we have two types of companies who try to employ developers. One moves very quickly, values their candidates. We know they're called talent for some reason. So if you call them talent, you might as well treat them as such, right? So that's the first type. The second type is they don't really seem to care that much. They're not quick to provide feedback, they're not quick to come back, they're not quick to sort out the interviews, and they're not quick to come up with offers. Why do they do this? Well, I don't know. So obviously, the recruitment process is very time consuming. You need someone who will interview the candidate, and it's usually not just one interview, it's more than one. So you're going to have someone who's very technical because, you need to discuss with the candidate from a technical point of view. You need probably someone from HR or in a CTO position or someone like that. So you've got at least 2 people, probably more, involved in this. Each interview is, 45 minutes to an hour and a half probably. So you're talking about several hours of time investment into interviewing someone. So when you invest this kind of time and people, which translates into money, why would you not be quick about it? Why would you not value the person you are interviewing? That's kind of what I'm thinking. So let's see, what's the best way to do this? The best way would be, you've got someone who is interested in working for you, which means you already won the first battle, right? Because most companies, they tend to have to convince candidates to work for them. And you have to explain what your mission is, why you need them, how is that position going to benefit them long term, and a host of other things. Now, when someone already wants to work for you, you don't have to go through that. You know they want to work there. So you've already almost won the battle. All you have to do is just make sure you basically treat them right and make sure they have a positive experience, just in case you want to hire them, right? So in this particular case, we've seen, 5 stages interview. Now, when someone has a 5-stage interview, now this depends very much on the role, okay, on the type of role. So if you're interviewing someone in an exec position, I can understand that, right? I can understand. You want to make sure you hire someone, you pay them a lot of money, they have a very important contribution towards the business. You want a host of people to talk to them, make sure you hire the right person. But when you talk about software developers, however, this doesn't necessarily apply the same way. A 5-stage interview when it comes to development tells me that the people involved in the process, they don't really know how to judge that person. Maybe they shy away from a decision and they bring in other people to make sure that if it goes bad, then it's not on them, right? It's on someone else. Now, of course, it depends what country you're from as well. So if you are from UK, where I'm from, then we have something called the probation period, which could be anything between a couple of weeks to 6 months. And that probation period is for both parties, basically, just to make sure that the person you hired performs at the levels expected and for the candidate as well to make sure that the company is what they thought they were. So if someone is not happy, they can hand in their notice. Of course, nothing is done on the spot. Even in probation, you still have 1 or 2 weeks, sometimes even 4 weeks actually of notice that you have to do. And that's just in UK. So the whole point, if you make the wrong choice, that yes, you've spent money, yes, you've spent time, yes, you've spent time from the people who did the interviews, and you spend time when that person could have been doing something for the company. But at the same time, you have this bit of time to decide whether it's the right fit or not. So it's not all bad. There are positives as well. In case you make the wrong choice, then you can give them a 1 month notice and you can go on and hire someone else, right? Because let's face it, even the best people, they will not fit into many companies. It's just the way they are. Each company has restrictions. Each company has a way of doing things. The people that are work there have an influence on your hires as well. So there's a host of things that you can't really quantify from the beginning. The interview itself, it doesn't matter what questions you ask. You're never gonna get the right story always. You can't. You have to work there to see what the company is truly like. During the interview process, everybody's on the best behavior, and that means, or they should be anyway. So that means the candidate and the people interviewing them. So if the people that interview them are not on the best behavior, they don't value the candidate's time, they're late, they just don't care, they fiddle with their phone, whatever, that sends the wrong message. But let's say that we're not talking about this, right? So what can we do? What can we do to get rid of this convoluted process? Apart from finding a job elsewhere, like this post says. Well, not much, to be honest, because obviously once you have this convoluted process in place, you're sending the message that you don't consider people to be talent. You may talk about, and everybody talks about talent these days. Oh, we want to hire talent. We want to keep talent. We want to do blah, blah for the talent. It's big, such a big word, isn't it? Talent. But the things that you say mean nothing if you don't actually treat people the right way. So you hire someone, then you have to spend time on the onboarding the right way to make sure they can be productive very quickly. See, that comes after, even if you've made the decision. If your process is not right going forward, you're still going to lose them. So there's a whole bunch of stuff and a whole bunch of things that need to happen before someone will be happy in a place and they will be settled in a new place, right? So what can we do? Well, have less stages for one. I would say 2 stages at most. I don't think any company hiring a developer should need more than 2 stages. Doesn't matter what level they are. Junior developer, senior developer, lead developer. I don't think there's a need for this. You just have the right people doing the interview, give them your opinion, move on, make the offer straight away. So that brings us to the next point, which is be quick in your feedback, be communicative. So if we do this, then you're going to lose less people, let's say. So that's kind of a bit of advice for the business side. Move quicker, okay? Treat people as talent. Appreciate their time, because it's a time investment for them as well, not just for you. It's both parties invest their time in this. And make sure they don't go and work for your competition, which is quite an interesting point, isn't it, when you think like that. You find someone you actually like. You see them fitting right into your company. There's no need to wait for someone else to appear. There's no need to compare. No, just make the decision. That's the important bit. Decide on the spot. If they tick all the boxes, that's it. You're done. You found your person. Move on. There's no need to do who knows how other many interviews, because in the time you do that, with the way the market is right now for developers, they will probably be interviewing with other companies as well. They will be out the door very quickly. So let me tell you what other companies do, right? And that's from my personal experience, a very recent personal experience, right? Think of it this way. Interview Wednesday night, technical interview. Second interview, Thursday. Offer by the end of the day, in verbal. Offer in writing by Monday. We're talking about 5 days. And out of those 5 days, only 3 are actually working days. Okay? And that's for a senior developer position. 3 days to cover the interviews and to make the offer. If you take more than that, you will lose people. So I guess that's the whole point of this. Treat people right, move quickly, because otherwise you lose them. Make a decision. That's the important bit. So I'll give you another example, something that I've had a few years ago when I was looking for a new role. I remember I interviewed with the company that was back in towards the beginning of December. So I had a first interview, very happy. Had a second interview, very happy. Said, okay, yes, we want you. We'll make an offer. Okay. Me being me, I keep interviewing. So I've got another interview. Someone else comes along. I have one interview with them. I had an offer before the end of the same day. And I said, okay, that's it. I'm done. I've accepted that. Moving on. I told the other company, I'm sorry, but I've already found someone else. So this was basically the process. They were the first ones. The process started with them beginning of December. I had another job middle of January. So we're talking 4 weeks or more. And yes, I know it's Christmas in between, but the point is they didn't bother to make an offer in that time. Even if they were interested, even if I was interested, they still did not make the decision and the move. The other company did. One interview, one day, off the market, just like that. The recruiter from the first company was like, oh, they want to make an offer. They will just make an offer very quickly. I said, I'm sorry. No, because that shows me that they don't value me, because if they did, they would have made the offer already. They didn't have to wait until I got an offer from someone else. And they could have just made the decision on the spot if that's what they wanted, right? So I guess this kind of shows you, and I'm sure this isn't the only story like this. This shows you that people have options these days and other companies move quickly. So if you're a company that moves slow, you're going to lose to companies like this. And you're going to lose people because they think you don't treat them right and you don't value them. Who wants to work for such a place? Who wants to work for a company where they don't feel valued? See, that's the biggest question. And the answer is not the good people, right? The good people are those with many options. They can go somewhere else. They interview multiple places. Let's face it, how many of us interview for just one company when we look for something new? We're going to do, what, more than one, no? 2, 3, 4, whatever, however many options we have. And we do have options these days. Let's be fair. Everybody seems to want developers, right? So that's what happens. The companies that move slow, they're missing out. The companies that move quick are the winners. There you go. Hopefully this will help someone, and maybe this will make you change your view on how you look at interviews. Thank you very much. Until next time, have a fabulous day.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.